United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And so everybody knows we have Bill Landon on the phone. He's got 2 kids at sporting events tonight, so he's calling in so he can be present. So I'm sure we can all appreciate family, children first. So, but make sure that when we speak up, if we can make sure that when we do get to public comment, that you come to the podium, speak clear enough so that Bill can hear, and if Bill has comment, you can hear him as well. Sometimes it gets tough on the phone.
And also, please state your name clearly so that the minutes pick you up. We'll do this all.
So the first thing we have to announce is that the Board of Supervisors held an executive session on June 3rd. Do we need to say anything else about the executive session, or that?
It was about the budget.
The budget? Yep. So we covered some budget issues, which will be discussed later in the agenda as well, so. And then next up, public comment. Does anybody have any public comment? You do?
Yes.
Step right up, sir. And state your name for the recorder.
My name's Don Cabot, I live on Snyder Road. Maybe 3 questions. That's, what was the general fund when as of January 1st, the surplus on January 1st, 2024? Does anybody here know?
We can look into it for you.
Yeah.
You want to know what the surplus
Yeah,
was?
when January 1st.
That's if there was a surplus.
Yeah, there should have been.
So the
And what is it today?
General fund. So you really want to know what the balance was starting at the beginning of '24?
Yes. And what it is today?
I believe the budget's hanging out in the hallway there, we said it should have 24 on there, but it's also.
Okay, great. Okay.
And the second question I have is, how many lawsuits did we have pending on as of January 1st, 2024? Was that 3? I think it's, I remember you saying something on that.
I'm aware of 2 that were pending when I came on,
Okay,
but that's it, I don't know about a 3rd.
okay, I thought you said 3 the last time.
We have a 3rd now because we have the appeal from the land development approval that's in court. But the other 2 are being handled by the township's insurance carrier,
Okay,
so.
all right. You know how much those lawsuits are for?
I don't know, the one was a slip and fall,
Yeah.
and the second was a stormwater issue. I don't know how much they were originally asking for, like in any of the pleadings or anything.
Okay.
I have limited knowledge only because the insurance company is handling it for us, so it's a different attorney that's handling the cases, it's not me.
Okay. And Ivy Ridge, do we have any more information on that? As far as like how much they owe us?
I think we're aware of what the balance that they owe is.
Yeah, I think
Is
that's
there
the
anything-
next.
is there anything being done about it?
We are in discussions with Ivy Ridge. I'm not actually not involved in it myself. Go ahead, Bill.
I can talk about it. So what I'm doing currently is, since this was discovered by myself, I have reached out to find out why we didn't apply for insurance or anything like that to see if they would cover it. So I am actively working on that. As far as have we spoken any more with Ivy Ridge, I have not had any more conversations with Ivy Ridge, although I've had several residents reach out to me, and, they were just unaware of what was going on, wanted to know why they were unaware. I told them, I said, this is a 23 issue. I looked all through the history to see if there was any communication, and I can't find any. And I'm completely unsure, excuse me, why we didn't convey anything to them. I've never found any communication like that. As far as if there's residents there from Ivy Ridge this evening, their HOA writes a note, any and all information regarding this, and they were supplied that. So if they didn't receive anything from the HOA, they can reach out to me directly, and I can give them all the information as well. But right now, no, Don, there's no movement on that subject at all. But I am looking into it to see where the ball got dropped.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to touch on is, so I've been getting a lot of questions about the lawsuits, as if I had gotten the township embroidered in lawsuits. The Potosi litigation had gone on for, I think, the better part of 17 years, 15 years. It was settled with Mr. Potosi and the township as we came through the door. He agreed to a settlement, and that's, you know, where we were with that. The other one's a slip and fall inside of Perkiomen crossing, and that's an ongoing litigation that I cannot discuss. And then I think we're all aware of Bland Pier. Mr. Hendricks came in, his attorney, you know, upon opening up the floor and discussing it with us, he told us that their intent was to sue us from the very, you know, from the very go there. So that was another thing that completely out of our hands again. There have been some talks with Mr. Hendricks, and I believe we'll have information on that in our next BOS meeting in July.
Any other comments?
What was the question?
Nothing.
Just if there's any more comments, we were opening it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the three lawsuits there.
I have a
And again,
comment.
the other one was
Want me to
handled,
stand up?
I believe, with the previous administration, and
Sorry.
I didn't really find anything talked about too much there that I could discuss this evening.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
we're going on to the next public comment.
No, I haven't.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, go
Can you
ahead.
step to the
We're
podium?
going on to the next public comment.
Yeah, we're moving on.
It's
Unless
actually,
it's a
has to
follow-
do with that. Steve O'Neill, Deep Creek Road.
Thank you.
My question is, didn't Hendricks, his lawyer, didn't he say that he would only sue us if we didn't extend his contract? I think that's what he said.
No, they wanted an approval that evening. I was unwilling to give that approval because of certain discussions we had had.
I thought he wanted an approval of, not of the building, but an approval to extend.
The way it was worded. it's a good-
Because I don't know, I'm just
Right.
asking, yes.
Like I'm saying, the way it was worded was not something anybody in township would want, because it gives him the opportunity to hold that development over our heads forever, in perpetuity.
I think you guys are kind of talking about different things. So you're correct in that the attorney, they had offered an extension of time for the plans to be considered. And the board denied that as well as denying the plans. What I think Bill was saying is that Mr. Hendricks himself had said that he was gonna sue the township either way. So I think there's a distinction between who said what.
Okay, yeah, I just,
What I was specifically addressing is what I had heard. So after the election in May, I had a ton of people reach out to me and ask me about me specifically getting the township sued. And I just directed them to the videos that are online. This was the decision that the board had made in regards to no time extension and denying of the plan, at which he said, you know, in the meeting, that his recourse would be to sue it. It's my stance and the board's stance that we made the absolute best decision for the township at that time. I stand behind that, and we'll see how this shakes out in the end, but I think everybody will be happy.
all right, I have another question. When we go into new business, are you guys gonna discuss like what happened with Sean and Aaron and,
What we can,
okay,
correct, yes.
cool, thank you.
Anybody think of any other public comments?
So,
Okay, great. Moving right along. Approval of the May 14th minutes. So I have reviewed the minutes. We have realized that we were missing the attendees from the meeting. So we still have to add the attendees. Vicki, are we allowed to approve the minutes as is with the exception of adding the
With that
attendees?
addition. Mhm.
Okay, so,
I'll take credit for any misspellings in the minutes.
I was gonna give you that credit, though.
Well, apparently there are some, I don't know.
I only have found one so far. We will fix that.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve or accept the minutes as written with the addition of an attendance sheet.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. We'll move along to the major section of our township meeting. We start with the treasurer's reports and bills to be paid. So for right now, the treasurer's report is prepared by Linda, our treasurer. We are at 41% of revenue collected and expenditures paid should be realized in 5 months. The revenue collections are at 47.4% of the budget for the year for the general fund. Most revenue line items are on trending with the budget. Current real estate collections are at 94.8% of the budget, and we are up 1,153 from the previous year. Real estate transfer taxes are at 56.83% of the budget, and more than the prior year by $15,500. The earned income tax, one of the larger revenue sources of the township, is at 46.25% of the budget and less than prior year's collection by $7,041. The interest income is at 65.46% of the budget and less than last year by close to $7,000. General municipal pension shows a negative balance as this is state aid returned due to the forfeitures from '24, and the building permits are at 74% of the budget and more than the prior year by $5,700. And miscellaneous revenues are largely refunds for prior year overpayments that resulted from personnel turnover. Expenditures paid are at 44% of the budget, predominantly due to the payment of road materials from 2024 road project paid in 2025. Expenditures in Ivy Ridge continue to outpace the revenue collections. For the first 4 months, they expended $15,000 more than they collected. Most of the over expenditure was the result of the PICO bill from 2024. And then the state liquid fuels audit for 22, 23, and 24 was completed, and we will receive one finding. The finding relates to the issue of the funding for last year's road project. The final report has not yet been released to us. And then lastly, the bills to be paid this month are $106,873.97 to avoid penalties and interest. Would you like to make a motion to approve the bills?
I will. I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills to avoid
Hey, now.
penalties, interest, in the amount of $106,873.97. Second.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
He's out.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Bill. Okay, we'll move along to emergency services. I believe, Vicki, you can do the PA State Police report.
Yeah, I believe these were posted. So for the PA State Police report, there were 23 calls for service, 1 canceled call, 1 accident, and the rest were general calls. I believe in connection with the 1 accident, there was also 1 life flight that occurred. For the Plymouth Community Ambulance, there were 25 calls, 21 of them were from Frederick Living.
Anybody from the fire company want to speak up, or do you have those numbers?
I just have that there were 13 calls for service. I don't know about training or anything like that.
I can do that for you if you want. So there was 13 calls total, in-service time was 8 hours. Fire year to date, 76 total calls, 35 hours, 57 minutes. That's for Upper Frederick Fire. The fire marshal's report, he had one incident required an origin and cause report. He wrote the report, began to review a fire alarm plan for proposed fire alarm upgrades, provided information for 1 burn request for agricultural purposes, and he met with Frederick Living to discuss their emergency management matters. One thing I will add that is missing from this report is the 21 calls that you saw that the fire company makes over to Frederick Living. That's something that I told him I wanted to cut back on. There's an alarm issue there for water pressure And Nate's currently working with those folks to resolve that issue. That's it for the 21 call.
The 21 calls were the ambulance, weren't
Yes, the ambulance,
they? They're
sorry.
not the fire company.
Not the fire company.
Yeah.
We didn't have 21
Yeah.
fire calls at Frederick.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know
No,
the,
you had 13, I said. If I was
13
Mr. Hanson, I recognized.
We had 13
13, I
total.
said.
13
correct.
total, okay.
and some of those are for the alarm?
Some of them are from Frederick, but not the whole
Yeah.
13.
Oh, okay.
No, not all of them.
Okay. Okay, great. Water sewer report?
No violations to report, plants are running good, Ivy's running real good, and Perkiomen's doing good, just got installed some new pumps and stuff where, and water plants are all right.
Great.
Okay. Hey, Matt?
Yes.
I would like you to give me a call. I wanted to discuss a couple of things with you about the mixers and the pumps, just to get an update on what we're doing with those. I think we have 2 pumps over at BDS. They had called the office, so I wanted to touch base with you on that so I can update, everybody with what's going on there.
2 pumps where?
2 pumps from down at Perk Crossing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to get with that there, and then we'll talk to you about some other things too. So if you could call me at the office, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So what to do?
Public Works is next. I have that in front of me, so I can do the Public Works if you want. So Steve reported that there were some basin road repairs on Kaiser and Buck roads. We had cross pipe and road repairs at Bridge on Kaiser, sorry. Roadside swale work and storm damage at various locations. They've started doing seasonal mowing at the park, sewer plants, cemeteries, etc. Fisher Lane Road repair on the upper and lower sides. They're doing road mowing round 1. The War Memorial repoint mortar areas pressure washed. They did the meter readings and any work orders per request. And under the equipment, they have the F-350 utility truck state inspection, and the road mower replaced hydraulic hoses.
When I printed this out, I noticed there wasn't anything for Mr. Garlish. Mr. Garlish over on Becker Road, they called us about a water issue that he was receiving. I had sent Steve out and Mr. Carafa. What Steve done was he took some pictures and some videos. The water was determined to be coming from his neighbors again and trickling back into his driveway, into a boatload of water. But I just wanted to let him know we did go out and look, and again, it's nothing with the township, that's water coming from his neighbor.
Okay. Norm, civil engineer report?
Okay, LTL's updated the engineer's report for the month of June, distributed to the township for your review. Updated where necessary, not really a whole lot going on. The one item worth noting is that Big Road, or I should say Three Dog Garage, is moving forward. We're inching slowly closer to recording the plans. I would expect over the next month or two to have a start in construction. There's a number of different items they need to take care of and address. And my understanding is Vicky's working on recording the plans and some of the final paperwork, and then they'll be able to set up the meetings with PennDOT, Conservation District, the township, and get that moving forward. So I would suspect probably month of July, you probably see something happening out there.
What would be the time frame of the actual construction, do you know? About how long it's
Well, considering it's Alan Myers, I'm sure he's going to move quickly on it. I would be surprised if at least the site work, not the buildings, but I would be surprised if probably in the fall you don't see buildings starting to go up. They're going to do obviously a lot of the site work first, stripping, the basin work, the ENS controls and stuff, and they'll probably have the majority of that done by Labor Day, I would guess, and then starting on buildings in the fall.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yep. And I can answer the questions, but that's it for the engineer report.
And you want to cover the building inspector and zoning report, or?
Sure.
or somebody, okay.
Yeah, really, the only item on there
There
that
it
is.
Hey, Bill, you gotta mute.
is. Double flag, sorry.
Yay! I'm sorry, but on the building inspector's report, really, the big item is the 1847 Perkiomen Road. And Township has tried and tried and tried and tried to work with the property owner, and we're kind of at the point now where we need to ratchet it up, become more aggressive, and get some action out there. So we are working, not only, I should say, the zoning officer is working with the township solicitor and the township staff to take that to the next level to get some action out there. So
So your agreement didn't work with her, Bill?
Excuse me?
Your agreement didn't work with her?
Your agreement.
My agreement, well.
You
she
said that
made- she
you
made
worked
some-
it all out with her and she would clean it up in the
She
spring.
made some agreements, and I've kept on top of them, as far as even offering to go down there and give her a hand with my mowers and my kids and stuff. And she said she would have it cut Monday. I said, fine. She didn't get it cut Monday, I got a hold of zoning. Said, that's it, we can't do anything more. So now we'll take more stern approaches.
an agreement assumes that
But
there's.
we're not here.
action
Yeah,
on both
I
sides.
know. I knew when he
That's why I was
said,
kinda
I know
laughing.
when he said he made the agreement, I knew she wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
She's done that for years. She makes the agreement, she never does it.
Yeah, making an agreement and following through on the
Two different
That's why I
things.
said again and again and again, and then finally it's at a point where it's
So
done.
we find her dead in the van, then that'll end it. And that's what's gonna happen.
Well, hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah, but
Can we just know what is the rule that she has to clean up? Like,
It's predominantly property maintenance.
Right.
The cutting of weeds that is either weeds or grass and still to be determined, and, you know, what the property owner is calling, you know, flowers and
Trees.
exotic plant life,
She
and
does
can't be cut down because of the butterflies, and so it's back and forth and agreements not followed through on, and again, just kind of at the point where something needs to happen, so.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we also, not only are our residents complaining, but we have people on the trail complaining
Oh, yeah,
about
that's-
the appearance of it,
It's a
so.
property that is ripe for the picking, if somebody wants to buy it.
not anymore. The inside's gutted, it's not the property to buy. No.
It's a shame, it's a beautiful.
It is, it was, no, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Bob, do you have an update from the planning commission?
Yeah, I have, what we went over on the May 29th
Would you
planning
mind
commission.
coming up to the podium?
Sure.
I'm sorry, only because I want to make sure you're caught on recording and,
He says soft-spoken.
and yeah, he's soft-spoken, yes, and I'm hard of hearing, as I'm learning.
Okay, on the May 29th planning commission, we went over four discussion objectives. One was to do possible amendments to the solar ordinance. And had a discussion on regarding stormwater management for ASA, removing restrictions for ASA members. We had a discussion on relaxing ordinance for,
Come on, John, here we go, John.
Hey, Bill, you gotta mute, dude. Sorry.
for elder cottages, for parents, siblings, that type of thing. And also looking into